I exhort you, brothers, remember, all things that come into being must pass away. Be a lamp unto yourself. These are believed to be the last words spoken by the Buddha just before he attained parinirvana, the ultimate release from the cycle of birth and rebirth. Earlier, perceiving that the end was near, the Buddha spoke of the 4 places which his followers must visit with feelings of reverence. Lumbini, where the Tathagat was born. Bodh Gaya, where he attained enlightenment. Sarnath, where he set into motion the wheel of the Dharma. And Kushinagar, where he laid down to eternal rest. The life of the Buddha is an inspiring saga. He was born as Prince Siddhartha to King Suddhodana and Queen Mahamaya, the rulers of the Sakya kingdom in northeastern Uttar Pradesh. Mahamaya, his mother, gave birth to him in a grove of sal trees in Lumbini, in present-day Nepal, while on a journey to her parents' home. This hallowed site lies 27 kilometers across the international border. Siddhartha spent his childhood and youthful years in Kapilavastu or Piprava in Uttar Pradesh, the capital city of the Sakyas. Today, the only remnants of the royal palace where he lived in opulent splendor for 29 years and which he renounced is a large mound under which it lies buried. Many stupas which were built here have been excavated, in one of which were recovered stone caskets containing the holy relics of the Buddha. Another site revealed ruins of an ancient vihara or monastery where Buddhist monks lived. After his renunciation, Siddhartha spent 6 years wandering as a mendicant, meditating and undergoing severe austerities. Finally, one day, he chose a spot on the banks of the Niranjana river, near the village of Uruvela, present-day Bodh Gaya. At the end of 49 days of meditation, he was enlightened. Although the Buddha had himself attained nirvana, in his limitless compassion, he returned to the world to share the truth and the path which he had found to free mankind from suffering. Realizing that Rishipatan, as Sarnath was then called, was the most important center of religious thought and philosophy, he set off on an arduous journey, covering over 250 kilometers on foot to reach the chosen site. It was here, in the peaceful deer park at Sarnath, that the Buddha gave his first sermon to 5 old companions who became his first disciples. The Buddhist Sangha thus came into being. The magnificent Dhammik Stupa stands at the site, a timeless witness to this first sermon, the Dharma Chakra Pravartana, the beginning of a religion which has spread all over the world. The Dharmarajika Stupa, and the Mool Gandhakuti Vihara, where he meditated during his monsoon retreats at Sarnath, are revered pilgrim spots. Devotees from the world over have built temples and viharas at Sarnath as a homage to the great teacher. After his enlightenment, the Buddha is said to have visited Kaushambi. The Goshti Rama Vihara, where the Tathagat stayed and delivered several sermons, has been excavated recently. Throughout his lifetime, the Buddha travelled constantly across the plains of North India, teaching the Dharma. Thousands of people were drawn into its fold. It was only during the monsoon months that he sought shelter, and the city that he chose most frequently for his Varshavasa was Shravasti, the capital of the Kosala kingdom. The Buddha spent 27 monsoons here, meditating and teaching the Dharma in the sylvan grove of Jetwana. It was perhaps here, in the serene surroundings of Jetwana, that he found an idyllic atmosphere to conceptualize and develop the philosophical aspects of his religion. A major part of the Tripitakas, or the canons of Buddhist learning, were expounded by the master at Shravasti. The verdant beauty of the park is enhanced by the Anand Bodhi tree, which is a second-generation sapling of the original Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya. Sankisa, near Lucknow, is a revered site where the Buddha is said to have descended to earth from Tushita heaven after preaching the Dharma to his mother, Mahamaya, who had passed away soon after his birth on earth. An Ashokan pillar marks this hallowed site. At the end of his earthly journey, the Buddha chose a serene grove on the banks of the river Hiranyavati in Kushinagar to lay himself down to eternal rest, having achieved his cherished aim of finding a path of deliverance for all mankind. The Mahaparinirvan temple, built at this hallowed spot, immortalizes the moment of the Buddha's final departure. Devotees flock today, as they did then, to pay obeisance at the feet of the great being. A 6-meter-long, resplendent statue of a golden reclining Buddha is enshrined in the temple. Over the centuries, several monasteries and temples too were built in Kushinagar. Many new monasteries and beautiful temples have been built here in recent times by devotees from Japan, Sri Lanka and China. Uttar Pradesh, the cradle of many religions and the sacred land, which was witness to the birth and growth of Buddhism, beckons people from the world over. The arduous journeys to these sacred sites in the past are today made more accessible by excellent road, rail and air routes in Uttar Pradesh. 2,500 years have passed since the Buddha walked the earth. The Dharma Yatra, the tour of piety, which began with Emperor Ashoka, continues to inspire every devotee even today. Through the passage of time, the followers of the Buddha from the world over have built magnificent viharas and temples at these places of pilgrimage, providing the ideal surroundings for meditation and prayer. And these acts of devotion to the Buddha and Dharma continue till today. The Dharma Yatra, the tour of piety, which began with Emperor Ashoka, continues to inspire every devotee even today, and reaffirms their faith and devotion to the path of deliverance that he gave them to follow. For, as he said to Ananda, "You must know that I will never leave you. I live in the Dharma I have given you, Ananda, the Dharma which is closer than your own heart, and the Dharma will never die.